Hi, my name is Kathleen Russo, and I'm a director at UBS Investment Bank in New York City. UBS is in the financial service industry. I work in our financing division, and our goal is to service clients from asset managers to hedge funds and come up with unique solutions for their everyday needs. So believe it or not, I studied engineering in college, which is completely different than what you would think for someone to work in financial services. It was really interesting because there's a few classes where I was the only girl in the whole class. And so the teacher would actually give examples. We had this mechanical engineering class and he would give car examples, and then he somehow would give me a shopping example, which was pretty funny. But I still was able to learn, and it was great. I was still able to collaborate, work on really cool projects. I actually worked prior to UBS at a aerospace manufacturing company, which was really interesting because you're building products such as a part of an engine or a de-icing line on a plane, and you get to see a physical product. It's been pretty cool because I've been on a few planes before where I can point out what products I helped make, which is exciting. So it's slightly different than financial services because financial services, you may not have a physical product that you're looking at that you designed. However, you still can be just as creative and really go into any industry you want, and you're able to still innovate. I think the markets are so interesting. One of my first roles actually in the financial services industry, I worked in the technology sector, and we actually were aligned to a lot of the market-aligned infrastructure. And so that made me driven and more motivated to get closer to the markets and being able to, take that call and call a client and talk about a particular stock and what market movements are happening that day. And so my engineering and technical background allowed me to understand financial services as a whole, and I was able to continue and grow my skill set to what interested me. One thing that really helped me get the job that I'm in today is being really good with numbers, being an out-of-the-box thinker, but also being able to think on a broader scale of, if I were to implement this project or idea, would it impact anything else in the organization or for this client? And so I think it's really important as you kind of decide what you want to do in the future to make sure you understand, what's the full picture? How will my exact, either it's a solution, idea, impact the rest of the organization? And so I've been able to use that as my strength to help me progress in my career. And I think even what I've learned previously, it could be when I had worked in aerospace, it could have been my first job ever out of college. I still use those same skill sets today, even though, I'm 8 years into my career. I had a few women growing up that really inspired me. So I'm an identical twin, and my sister and I always pushed ourselves to be our best, and we were always really creative and innovative thinkers. But growing up as well, we were both really athletic, loved playing sports, and some of the older girls on our soccer teams really were into engineering and the science fields. So it really inspired us to move into either, if it was chemistry, biology, engineering, as a career. And I know it's difficult as a teenager to pick what you want to do when you grow up. I think I probably didn't know until I was probably 18 at that point as an idea of what I wanted to do, and I wish I had someone to help guide me. Luckily, I had these role models that I looked up to, and I still talk to them this very day, and they give me great career advice. What I recommend to girls who want to get into the financial services industry is don't be afraid to try to learn something new. I knew nothing about finance before I started, and I'm still learning every day that I'm in my job. So, you may only have background if it's history, maybe you're really good at English, but you really want to get into something that's more mathematical and you want to get and learn more about the stock market. You have all the opportunities to do so, and don't be afraid to ask questions and challenge yourself. You'll never learn if you hold yourself back. And so I think within the industry itself, there's so much room for innovation and great ideas, and don't undervalue your skill set.